Okay, beautiful soul. I cannot wait to dig into today's topic. It is around procrastination, and we're just going to go straight into it because this is so important for each of us to better understand that procrastination is not laziness. Procrastination is our inner child, our ego telling us that we don't feel safe to expand and to do that thing yet. So, procrastination is actually a trauma response. And often it's tied and associated to all of these internal stories and dialogues that we have about, is it safe to succeed? Is it safe for me to be this big? Is it safe for me to be seen in this? All of these things that we tend to hold on to, but we are basically disguising it as I'm lazy, I'm not being productive enough. And we tend to make ourselves wrong for procrastinating on certain things when really our goal is to bring more safety into the body to do that thing. Because so often I think people are trying to push through it or they just kind of put it on the back burner and they just don't go there at all. If we can take a look at that thing that we're wanting to do and better understand what is it that my ego is trying to tell me about this, it will go such a long way. We just did this exercise in my Transcendence Mastermind where the women who are stepping into this next level version of their business were noticing that one of the common threads that they were experiencing was, okay, but like, how do I get to that next level version of myself? Like, I'm making the multiple six. How do I get to seven figures? I'm kind of nervous. Like, how do I even get there? And so there's a part of them that like had the intuitive ping on what to do, but they were holding themselves back and they were calling it procrastination. And so it was kind of like disguised as I know what I should do, but I'm not doing it. Why am I procrastinating? And so it was really powerful because we started to really uncover what is the ego trying to tell you? And can we not make that wrong? Instead, can we start to love on that part of us that has fear of being seen or has fear of being that successful or has fear of stepping into this next level version of responsibility or power or success? And so this is really beautiful for these women. They had incredible breakthroughs around, okay, if this isn't working for me here, instead of making it wrong, how can I love on that part of me, integrate that part of me, and then step into this next level version of me to better understand, like, what is my highest self trying to tell me? So that I can really step into that next level version of myself. So we did this really powerful exercise that made it really crystal clear, like, what's the internal dialogue that's happening within me? And amazing, let me alchemize that and now step into this next level version of self. So it was really potent and really powerful. And so what I think is really important to remind yourself of is you're not lazy. You're probably just holding on to a story that's making you want to retract or get smaller or get busy doing other things. And it's not about doing more, it's about getting more into alignment. It's about starting to really recognize the stories that are no longer serving you so that you can alchemize, love on those, and then step into what you came here to do, to serve, to impact humanity on a bigger scale, right? But then there's parts of ourselves that will hold us back and say, who am I to do that thing? How can I get, I shouldn't be allowed to get that big, you know? And then what's interesting is you'll start to notice that by doing that, you're essentially letting the ego drive. And what the women noticed in the mastermind call today, which was really powerful, is when we started connecting to their ego, they were like a lot of their egos that came through were like a teenager or an inner child or different versions of themselves throughout their lifetime because we had them, connect to the ego and then connect to the highest self. And they were noticing the energy of the ego. Some of them, they were like, wow, it's an inner child. It's like, it was like I was 7 and I was in fear and I was scared to go after that thing. And other people, they were like, this, that person just kind of like stomped their way in, and wanted to just be seen and witnessed and was angry. And it was their inner teen. And it was like beautiful. And I want you each to recognize you've been letting that version of you drive the vehicle versus loving on that part of you and asking them to take a seat in the back, right? Like, you're safe, buckle up. I see you. I love you. And all of these stories, I want to witness them. I want to see them. I want to give them breathing room. So when we think about a child, right? A child having a temper tantrum, if there are mamas out there or dads out there that are tuning in that are like, yeah, when you think about, or anyone who's nannied or been in the presence of a child, when they're having a temper tantrum, they're looking for us to be calm so they can co regulate versus us trying to make them even more wrong or scold them for doing the thing, or all of these different things that we do when kids are having a temper tantrum. Like sometimes people will make them wrong, send them to their room, or they will, try to overly like fix it versus just hold space for the temper tantrum, like rationalize it. Like, you shouldn't have done that. You should have done this. And it's like when we're dysregulated, we're not rational. So it's too soon to rationalize with that version of ourselves. And that's the same when our ego is coming into play and we're just letting it be seen and witnessed. It's really important for us to not make it right or wrong, but to instead say, I see you. I hear you. I love you. I'm witnessing that. I understand. That would feel really frustrating. I want to validate you and your experience. I love you. I want to hold space. Do you need a hug? These type of things. And then when we're calm, these sort of things allow our inner child or our children to actually start to co-regulate to us being the driver and them starting to soften into, okay, it's safe to expand, right? These are those energetic blocks that we have that are disguised as procrastination. Is essentially we will say like, oh, I'm just too busy, or I can't, I'm judging myself for not doing that thing. I've put it on the back burner again. Like, why do I keep putting this at the back of the thing? And it's like, it's because you don't feel safe, most likely expanding into it or doing the thing, right? And it's not because you don't care. It's because there's a part of you that needs to experience more safety. So my question to you is, as you're tuning in, first of all, get really clear. What are you procrastinating on? Like, what is the thing that you are procrastinating on that's not serving you anymore? So that's the number one thing. Like, just start to get clarity on it. Because often we're just kind of going through life and we don't recognize that we've actually been putting something off that could really amplify our business and take us to the next level. Like, we get the intuitive ping and we put it in the shoebox and then we do all the busy work that we're comfortable with, versus the thing that will expand us or the thing that's scary or outside of our comfort zone. We kind of put it on the back burner. My question to you is, what are you procrastinating on? And then I want you to start to get really in tune with, what are the stories that I'm telling myself about that experience? What does my ego want me to know? And it was a really powerful exercise that we did in Transcendence, where we were just letting ourselves get really in tune with, like, if our ego is on one side and our highest self is on another, and there's two chairs in front of us, what does that look like when the ego comes in and when the highest self comes in? Open the dialogue with both, right? What is it specifically that your teenage self or inner child self or ego or shadow, what do they want you to know about this thing? What is it? Hold space for them, right? Maybe you close your eyes, start to channel messages like, what are you fearing? What are you scared of? And see what messages start to come to the surface, right? And then when you get these messages, I want you to love on that version of you, because it took a lot of courage for them to be honest and to share the fears that were coming through for them, right? And then from there, I want you to alchemize that energy. Today, we threw it in a fire, right? We just allowed ourselves to just release that old version of that energy. And we said, like, we're complete with that. And there was so much more that happened, but these are kind of some of the cliff notes around, like, we got to get really crystal clear on, like, what is it specifically that's been holding us back? What are those fears? Love on that version of you, alchemize that energy. We went through a powerful exercise to start to alchemize that energy and simultaneously tune into your highest self. What does your highest self want you to know about this experience? Because oftentimes it's like I don't want to do the thing because I feel like an imposter, or am I allowed to be that big? Or, all these stories that we tell ourselves, and then we tune into our highest self, and our highest self is like, dream, declare, deliver. Our highest self is like, here's why humanity needs you to do this thing. Or it's like, sometimes it's just an easy next best step, or I see you, I love you. Here's why this is going to be so important. Like, we get these powerful downloads from our highest self when we just open up the dialogue and say, what do you want me to know? What guidance do you have for me around this? And sometimes it's like here's the next step, or a really profound download. So my invitation to you is to start to open up the dialogue around why you're procrastinating, and love on that part of you, not making it wrong. And then also tuning into your highest self to better understand, how can I start to take action steps towards the thing that I actually desire, right? Because I think another part of that, after you kind of lean in and do an exercise like this, or just start to tune in and say, like, what is that thing that's blocking me? Release it, alchemize, step into this next level version of yourself. access that information from your highest self, really allowing yourself to have those downloads come through. And then let's jump into not only like the spiritual aspect, let's start to jump into some tactics, right? From there, what can you start to do? What is your next step that will get you closer to the thing that you want? And can you add a time commitment around it, right? We want to have the breakthrough first, and then let's start to say, okay, I'm going to do the thing. I'm going to actually lean in and do the thing. What is the next thing that I need to do? And when will I have it complete by? And then start to set that beautiful energy and start to vow to yourself that I vow to move forward with the thing that I've just listed on my piece of paper. I vow to do it with wobbly legs. I vow to do it even if I'm experiencing fear. I vow to do it because it's going to deeply impact humanity. I vow to step forward and do this thing, even if there's a huge part of me that's fearing what might happen. And that's the beauty is we've already started to alchemize the fear so it feels so much less. And now you're starting to set some parameters around, let me actually do the thing. Right. And if you notice that you're still not able to do the thing, then there's probably a deeper energetic block there. And I invite you to lean into a healer, someone like me, or someone like me that can help you actually better uncover what is the thing that's blocking you from stepping into this next level version of success. Because this is going to be something that's very unique to you. So sometimes you're able to uncover it. Sometimes you need someone to help you uncover those blind spots. This is why I have my own healer on retainer, right? Because there's certain things that I'm in my day to day, or I'm so emotionally attached to the thing that it's hard for me to sometimes see the bigger picture because I'm zoomed in. My soul is in this body, right? And I'm zoomed in. So I need someone to have the 300,000 foot view to say like, here's what's coming through. Let's help to move it. Here's what I'm seeing. Does that resonate with you? Okay, amazing. Things like the Akashic records are really powerful as well for when I'm having a blind spot and I'm not able to access that sort of information. So the Akashic records, for someone who might be newer to that, is basically a record of your entire soul's existence. It's a really powerful tool that I use with my one-on-one clients that allows me to really tune in and say, okay, what is the thing that is blocking you the most right now? And where is this originating from? Is it in this lifetime and we just don't remember it? Is it from childhood and we've repressed that memory? Bring it to the surface, right? Or is it from a past lifetime? If you believe in past lives, is it something that I've carried through for multiple lifetimes and it's something that I need to actually cleanse and clear from not just this lifetime, from many lifetimes before? And that's where some of those deepest breakthroughs happen is like, we can't rationalize that because it's not from this lifetime, or we can't consciously remember it unless we're accessing things like the Akashic records to be able to better understand where was this originating from, right? And that's why it was so fun and so powerful in my Transcendence Mastermind, where one of the things that we leaned into was how to access your own Akashic records. I think that everyone should be able to access them. It's so, so, so empowering and so important. And so that was a really fun session that we all dug into. And the women got really powerful downloads on things that were in the way, things that were blocking them, guidance on how to move the energy. So it was just so powerful to just witness the women stepping into this empowered version of themselves where they could access the blocks, better understand where they were coming from, and step into an even more empowered version of themselves. So, just the number one thing that's floating to the surface is you are not lazy. There's a part of you that just needs to feel more safe. So allow that to really resonate. You are not lazy. There's a part of you that's desiring more safety. How can you bring that safety into your body? Can you see and witness that version of you? Can you love on that version of her that just needs that extra love? And just hug her, tell her that she's safe, remind her, give her room to just have the temper tantrum and to move the energy and to be witnessed in her fears, right? Because when we push it off in the corner, it just gets louder, right? Or if we tell the tantrum it's wrong, or we tell a person it's wrong, we feel invalidated in the entire experience and then we shut down. That doesn't help us break through. In fact, it makes us shut down and then we can't move forward. It's like we're frozen in time. And so this is your opportunity to say, like, what part of me just needs to feel more safe so that I can move forward and deeply impact humanity the way that I know my soul came here to do. So I hope that this was supportive for you today. I'm sending you so much light and love, and I cannot wait to see what comes through for you when you start to tune into your highest self, into your ego, love on both parts of them. Let your highest self drive, let your ego step into the back seat, buckle in, feel that safety, and start to move forward towards your dreams and through the things that you came here to impact humanity with most. So I'm sending you so much light and love. And until next time, mwah.